Example number 1. Write each expression as a single power. So we're noticing that we're not looking for an evaluation. We just want to write this as a single power. So for this one, the most important questions, and I'm just going to write this in the notes here. What's the base? This right here is the most key question. Now, I could insert a joke about it's all about the base here, but I will choose not to. I will use restraint. Let's just stick with the math, people. No popular culture, no laughter in this math class. Just joking. It is actually all about the base when it comes to exponents. Okay, so A. We're saying when something, when a power, so this power right here is raised to a power, we need to multiply. So we take the base, which is 8, and we say, okay, the power is actually now going to be 5 times 4, which is negative 8 to the power of 20. Put a box around it, walk away. You are done. The B part of this question is a little bit more tricky because we have to consider what the base actually is. Now, remember, exponents are fair weather friends. They just stick to the ones that are right beside them. So my base here is literally 5. Okay, so my negative sign is not part of the base. So I'm going to say negative 5 to the power of 2 times 7, which is, oh, that's just a little bracket. Let's do a bigger one. Negative 5 to the power of 2 times 7 is 14. Done. Put a box around it and walk away. Example number 2 is a little bit different because we're asking you to actually evaluate it. Now, there are 2 different methods. One of the methods, so method 1, that's the one that I taught you before in the first video. So that would be, so if we're looking at question A here, we're going to say 4 to the 5, we're going to say 4 squared times 5 squared, because remember that exponent goes to both. So then 4 squared is 16 times 25. That is going to be, 16 times 25 is going to be 400, but let's just double check here. 16 times 25. Oh, hello. Looks like I know my number facts. That's great. So we get the answer of 400. Now here's method 2. That might seem a little bit more intuitive to you, which means it might make more sense to you, and you can use either method, doesn't matter to me which one. So it is, so 4 times 5 to the power of 2. Do what's in the brackets first, people, which is 20 squared. 20 squared is, gosh golly, it is 400, but let's just double check. 20 squared is 400. So either way you do it, using method 1, which is the product of powers, or method 2, using order of operations, which you're probably used to, either way, it's totally fine. The biggest takeaway from this lesson is actually, from this part of the lesson, is the quotient. Because if I had something like, and you'll see this next year, 2y over x to the power of 2, I need to make sure, actually I'm going to change this 2 to a 3, 3y to the power of 2. I need to make sure that this squared goes to all of the things. Okay, so then that would be 3 squared times y squared over x squared. So this right here is the biggest takeaway. That's totally a side note. This is a grade 10 question, but I just wanted to show you what you're actually shooting for here. So when you just get a number like this, you can solve it either using method 1 or method 2. So in this case, the method 1 would be, for B, that equals 168 squared over 14 squared. That gets you a super huge number, 28,224. Oh wow, you can't see that. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. 28,224 all over 14 squared, which is 196. Lo and behold, it's going to be 144. If we use method 2, and that's just going to be our order of operations here, we're going to say 168 over 14 squared. Well, 168 divided by 14 literally is 12. Okay, so do what's in the brackets first. 12 squared, 144. Lo and behold, we get the exact same answer. So whether you choose to do method 1 or method 2, it doesn't matter. But remember, keep your eyes on the prize. You want to remember that the exponents go to, I don't want to say terms because next unit with polynomials, you'll understand what a term is, but the exponent needs to have contact with all of the numbers in the numerator and denominator. So if I were to summarize this, I would say when a power is raised to a power, multiply exponents. When a quotient or product is raised to a power, make sure all numbers are raised to that power. So the exercises that I want you to be working on for this one are going to be grade 9